What is up, TGM Unbox? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to walk through all of the buttons as well as the infotainment system on this 2023 Hyundai Elantra. A lot of this is going to be the same on the 2021 and 2022 models. There might be a couple differences. I do have the SEL convenience, so it has a larger screen on the 2023 models. On all the other models, the screen's going to be a little bit bigger. And if you don't have the digital display, a lot of these settings can be found in the smaller LCD. So let's get started with all the buttons that we have. So starting over here, this is your illumination control for the tachometer and speedometer, as well as all the other buttons in this car. You can see once I lower it or raise it, these buttons actually get brighter, and also they can get dimmer, which is pretty fancy. All the buttons change with this control, as well as these screens. That's really cool, really nice, and I'm happy it has that. This is your lane departure warning, so once you turn this on and off, this allows your car to automatically guide you back into the road or prevent you from falling off and audibly alert you if you're like going out of the lane. It is on by default, and anytime you turn it off, it will stay off even when you turn your car off and back on. So that setting stays with the car. I leave it on. And then this is your traction control. This just allows you to get out of snow or other things, or if you're in a pinch and you kind of need to get rid of the traction, that's how you can turn it on and off. So going over here, a lot of this is the same in the car. So you bring it forward for your high beam flash, and then you can put it out. And I have it set up so it has the auto high beams turning on, and then you do it again, and that'll turn it on and it'll stay on. Over here is your illumination control. So we have your headlights turning on, your parking lights, your auto lights, and then off. I keep it on auto because it's really convenient. And now moving over to the steering wheel, this is your music control. So you control your music volume right here, or your radio volume right here. This is how you can skip songs or go back or forward, and also change channels. So that is how you control it on the left. These are your phone buttons. You can obviously answer or decline your call. This is your voice speech button. So you can use the car speaker, or if your phone is connected with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you can press down this button and it'll activate Google or Siri. So that is how you control it there. This is a mode button. It's a custom button, just like the star button over here. You can set that up to activate a couple different things when your car is on. This is your horn, obviously. And then going over here, these are some of the more controls. So this will be your page menu. You can switch between this car mode, the compass mode, and back to this mode. And this mode is basically your customizable mode. Using this paddle to go up and down, you're able to show different information. Right here, I have the miles per hour. If we go up, it'll show our accumulated info, then your drive info, and then it starts back at the bottom. Going up to your miles per hour, then here's your tire pressure, your attention level, and then back to the miles per hour. So that is how you navigate that menu. All of that is pretty self-explanatory. Hyundai does have a lot of information on all those modes if you want to learn more about them. Then going over to here, this is your cruise control. So when you activate this, you just press it down. Oh, well, we are parked right now. But while you're driving, when you press this down, it'll automatically turn on your cruise control. And you have to be driving. And if you do have the SEL convenience like I do, you actually have stop and go. So it'll actively slow down and speed up depending on if there is a car in front of you. And you can control the distance between the car in front of you by pressing this button. You can choose it to be close, further, further, or further. I think there's 4 modes of control, but that allows you to have a little bit more distance between you and the car in front of you. Now this is your active lane keeping assist. I almost always have this on. This is a mode you have to turn on every time you get in the car. You can't keep it on forever. But what it does is it actively uses the cameras to merge you into the middle of the lane. It prevents you from weaving and swerving, and you can even have your hand off the wheel for a little bit of time, although I do not recommend that. But that is what that little button does. So now moving over to this, the other physical buttons, this is your push start and turn off. Pretty nice. I mean, it's been in cars for a very long time. Over here are your menu controls for your radio as well, and here's your volume knob. You can also change some other things. This is a custom button. This allows you to activate certain things. For me, I have it turn on auto CarPlay. So whenever I get my car, plug in my phone, I just press that and it opens it up if it's not already open. This is setup. This is how you activate this menu, and this is your customization menu. And we're going to be walking through that later. Here's your AC control. I really like the AC control in the Hyundai. You just press this auto button and it'll automatically turn it on to whichever temperature you have it. And you can do it up to 3 speeds. And it just automatically programs itself to make it the best comfortable temperature based on what you have. And obviously these are all the same. These are your heated seats. I'm not going to turn that on because I'm kind of hot right now. So yeah, those are the controls. Right here is your shift knob. So this is how you select your drive modes. When you press it down, it goes between normal, sport, and smart mode. Smart mode is a mix of normal and sport. Basically, if you hit the gas really fast, it'll switch you into sport mode automatically. And then if you start driving efficiently, then it'll switch you back to normal mode. I just keep it on normal. This is your camera button. You can hit the camera button and it will turn on the camera. And then also here is another menu, but I will be showing you that pretty soon. Here is your electronic parking brake. When you pull it up, you activate the parking brake and you should be able to hear it. So that's when the parking brake is active. This is your auto hold button. I use this so much. So when you press the button, it turns on your little auto hold up top. And what that means, it means that your car will hold the brake for you while you're at a stop situation. This is extraordinarily helpful when you're at like McDonald's or a fast food place and you just pull up, you can hit the brake and all you have to do is hit it lightly and then it engages the auto hold and then you can take your foot off the brake and the car will stay still until you hit the gas to accelerate. So it practically feels like you put it into park when it's not in park and you can just hit the gas and it'll go. It's really convenient. I hope I explained that okay. But yeah, those are the modes right there. One thing some people ask me about is how you can get into sport mode. You can press this drive mode button, but you can also pull the shift knob all the way to the back and then you can push it to the left. So that activated sport mode and there's now an S right here. And you can also do the manual shifts by pulling down to get into first gear. And now there's a first right there. And when you're driving, you can push it up to go into second gear, third gear, fourth gear. And I believe there are 8 gears on this car. And to get out of that, you just push it back to the right and then you're good to go. So those are the buttons of the car. Obviously, these are just your window controls. These are all pretty self-explanatory. And now we can go on to, I guess, the actual brains of the car. So this is your standard menu. I really like the way this looks. This map actually updates while you're driving. So I'm currently in a parking lot, so it has that shown. And it's really cool at night. It's really minimal, and it's not the Apple CarPlay screen, so it just looks cool. Then when you swipe to the right, you actually have some more control, and right here, also some more control. So I guess we can get started with the map. This is going to open up your map right here. I don't really ever use this, but you can set it to do certain locations. I just use my phone to control where I'm going. I just find that to be more convenient. Here's my navigation menu. We can search for stuff and do other locations, but again, I do not really use that. Here's your phone controls. So you're able to add phones for Bluetooth. I have my iPhone right here, but again, that is if you use Bluetooth. I honestly prefer to use CarPlay. Here's phone projection. I do have to connect my phone to actually activate that. Your voice memo, you're able to record voice memos and then save them. So if you have a thought while you're driving, you can activate that. Here's some climate controls. So these are also going to be in the settings when we go through all the settings, but you're able to activate the circulated air once you turn on the windshield wiper fluid, and that way you don't smell the fluid when it goes in. It also has automatic dehumidify and also auto defog, so that's pretty fancy. Valet mode is a setting you can activate when you go park your car and someone's going to drive your car for you. You can enter in your password, and that way it limits the speed and also even a geofence. It'll alert you if the car goes outside of that, so that's really cool. That has valet mode. Here's your radio data. So it has traffic information. Actually, I've never been in this menu. That's pretty cool. Here's some Doppler radar. I did not know my car could do that. That's pretty cool. Fuel prices. What? Wow, you guys are learning this with me. Holy cow. And it also looks like you can just hit go and your car will take you there. But that is pretty cool that the car lets you do that. So, yeah, look at that. Here is your radio. And we do not want that. And you can also do your media and then select where you want your media sourced from. And then this is the Blue Link. So you can go through your Blue Link settings. This is just the way that you can communicate with the car from your phone. And then let's go into our setup. So those are all the basic menu things. Now we're actually in the settings of the car. So let's go to vehicle. So this is where you're gonna edit your vehicle settings. We have driving convenience. And once this is open, it'll automatically adjust the highway speed. This is really cool with the automatic cruise control. When you're going from 70 miles an hour to 50 miles or 55 miles an hour, the car will automatically slow down once you hit that speeding. I really like that. Here's your warning time. I set it to standard. I like to be warned a little bit earlier before I collision. It's gone off a couple times just as like false positives while I'm driving. I'm driving and it still alerts me, but yeah, and then the driving safety priority. So this will lower the volume of your music or anything else to make sure that you hear the alert. And I have the volume set for high. I don't like it to lower the volume when I'm parking. I like to have the music still blasting while I'm parking. I can still think even though I'm like listening to loud music. So this is a really cool feature, the leading vehicle departure alert. So when you're sitting in traffic or at a restaurant or McDonald's or something, and you're not really paying attention, the car will actually alert you when the car in front of you moves. So if I'm behind a car right now and then the car drives away and I'm like looking for something or on my phone, it'll actually make a little chime. It'll be like ding. And then right here, it'll tell you that the car is moving in front of you. And that way you kind of get alerted and you can start driving. This is your inattentive driving warning. Going back to that menu over here, basically it just judges how you're driving and how long you've been driving to let you know what your attention level is at. If you've been driving on a long road trip, that could be helpful to let you know when you should take a break. So driving assistance, I have it to active assist, which means it'll also control the wheel possibly. It doesn't always use it, but it is a possibility of it using it. When you have it at warning only, it doesn't control anything. All it does is play an alarm. And this is meaning like when you're about to hit a car, you're too close to it, it'll automatically hit your brakes. Or if you're drifting out of the lane, if you have active assist, it'll pull the wheel back a little bit instead of just having the warning. Lane safety, this is going back to the same kind of settings, the assist and also warning only or off. So if these features get a little bit annoying for you, you can actually deactivate them and that way it won't alert you. So this is for your blind spot indicator. You have your safe exit assist. So if you actually park and you're opening the door, it'll use the same radar that's used for your blind spot assist to lock the doors and also play a little charm if you're trying to get out and there's a car coming, which is pretty cool. It's really good if you have passengers in the back. So there's your active assist also. And then parking safety is pretty cool. This is your rear cross traffic alert. So when we switch it into reverse, it'll actually alert us using the same radar if a car is coming this direction or this direction behind us. It'll tell us to stop. And it can also hit the brakes if you're backing up still. That feature is super helpful. It saved me. I mean, it doesn't necessarily save me. It's just, it's active and I know it's working and I'm still paying attention. So that's pretty fancy. But yeah, I love these settings. And here's your camera settings as well. You can choose what content gets shown up and also the brightness and contrast. So let's get out of here and let's go to cluster. This is the way you can choose the illumination. You can also choose it to have a blue light filter. This is good if you're gonna go to bed after you drive. I just have that turned off. And then you can also have it play your music even though you turn your car off. Once you open your driver's side door, it'll turn off the music. But if you want to keep it on even though you're parked for a little bit, you can keep that setting on. And then here's your camera settings. Again, you're able to control what shows up there. Here's your cluster theme selection. You have 4 different selections that you can do. I'll show you them right here real quick. This is theme A. I don't like this. It kind of reminds me of like a Mercedes-Benz with the white. It looks like a watch face, or like someone called it baseballs. I don't really like it. It's a bit too bright. Here's B. It is pretty cool. It's the sport mode setting. It's nice with the carbon fiber, but at the same time it's red and nothing else in this car is red. Like these all come blue from the factory and I installed some blue lights. So it just doesn't make sense to have it as red, but I like to keep it at this 3rd setting. It's theme C. It's just nice and blue and just looks pretty crisp. And then here's theme D. It's like this boxy. It's kind of cool. Like when you have this setting turned on, it looks pretty fancy, but I just don't like those cubes. It's just weird. I wish maybe just the cubes were gone and it was just the numbers. That I might like. That would be pretty sick. So here is your service interval. So you're able to change when you need to get service for, and I think the dealership probably sets this up for you. And then you can reset your fuel after refueling or when you turn on your car. Content selection. So this is where the traffic sign is. A lot of people ask me how I get my traffic sign in. Like when I'm going 35 miles an hour, it'll tell me like a little traffic sign and tell me how fast I should go. So it is in your cluster content selection, and that is how you're able to turn on the traffic signs. You can turn it on and off. You also have the icy road warning, and that allows you to know that the roads might be a little bit icy. In Wisconsin, that's obviously helpful. And then the wiper lights up display, so when you hit your wipers on, it'll kind of show you. Here's a welcome sound. The welcome sound sounds pretty cheap. Like it just sounds not that good, so I don't even have it turned on. And here's my oil reminder. So the oil I have is at 54%, so that's pretty good. Let's go to climate. We already looked at those settings really quick. Lights. I like the light settings. So you're able to control how many flashes your left and right turn signal do. Currently, I have it set to 3, but we can turn it to 7. And now when we hit it, that's kind of excessive, but pretty cool. I like just 3. That's what I'm used to. You can also turn it off or set it to 5. Welcome lights are really cool. There's actually lights hidden inside the door handles. So when you walk up to the car, it'll turn on those really gradually, and it'll be pretty nice when you're at night. It just looks fancy. Here's your headlight delay. I like to have this turned on, and that allows the car to keep the headlights on even though you parked, and turn off the car. You get out of the car for like 15 seconds. The headlights will stay on. Then it also has the high beam assist, and this allows your car to automatically turn on your high beams. So you can see it says auto right now. If I was driving down the road, it would actually turn on the high beams automatically for me, and it won't flash other drivers. It's smart enough to know when cars are coming toward us or behind us, and it won't flash them. So those are some settings I like. Here's your door. I like to have my car lock on the shift. I don't like to do it at the speed. I think you have to go 5 miles an hour and then it locks. I like to just lock it right when I turn the gear on. I don't want anyone hopping in my car. Same with this, the auto unlock. I don't like that to happen. I don't like to park my car because sometimes I sit here for a little bit. And I mean, no one's really walked up to my car before, but I don't want that to be a possibility. So I just don't have it auto unlock. Here's your 2-press unlock. That's helpful if you go with family a lot. Once you come on this side of the car and you hit the button once, it only locks the driver door. Once you turn on the 2-press unlock, when you press the button twice, it'll actually unlock the car completely so people can get in the other sides of the car. The smart trunk is pretty cool. When you have your keys in your pocket or your bag, it'll actually open up the trunk automatically when you stand behind the car for about 5 seconds. I like that feature. And then some more convenience. This is your rear occupant alert. So it'll alert you if anything's moving in the back once you park your car. So if you had like kids or a dog, it'll alert you that you left something in there. And then the wireless charging system, you can turn on the wireless charger. That is down here, over there, and that can charge your phone. I never really use it, but I just keep it on. So yeah, that is like the general master settings. There's gonna be some more settings in here for your navigation. You can have the vehicle speed and traffic info and a bunch of other settings. I'm just gonna breeze through if you kind of want to pause them to see what you can change. And here's like your red light camera stuff, your map stuff. So yeah, I don't really ever use this, but these are some extra settings. Here's your sound settings. Nothing really big here. This is like speed dependent. I have that on the highest. I never really notice it in this car. The positioning, the tones, I just have the bass cranked. Here's some navigation settings, radio noise, driver assistance. This is the same settings. A lot of the settings show up twice on this car, or maybe even 3 times. Here's your user profile. So if you have multiple people that drive your Elantra, you can actually have multiple users, and it keeps the settings the same. So all my settings with my driver convenience and light settings, that will stay on my profile. So if I have like my sister or my mom or my girlfriend, if they have their own profile for my car, they could actually use that, and then they can have different settings. So if they don't like the 3 flashes on the left turn signal, they can make it 7. Or if they want the avoidance systems turned off, they can have that on their own account. The voice recognition settings, the screen layout, the display, there aren't that many to change on the display. This is how you change your custom buttons with your mode button and your star button. And then some general settings over here. These are all just like your basic car information. So yeah, that is basically all the settings in the Hyundai Elantra. You can also go over here to look at your user manual, but we do not need that right now. But yeah, that's what it's like, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And again, if you want to scroll through your menu, I think some people asked about that. You just hit this button and go between these modes. And then on this one, you can use this left button to control up and down to go to what you like. So yeah, that is the car as a whole. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down below. I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.